Ethan Walker looked like an ordinary single dad. Rugged, quiet, and carrying the weight of too many sleepless nights. After his wife, Emily, died of cancer 2 years prior, his entire world narrowed down to one mission: raising Caleb alone. He took construction jobs, private security, anything that kept him close to home. But there was one thing almost nobody knew anymore. Ethan had once been the Navy's most decorated special warfare officer, a man whose missions were still classified, whose actions had saved entire units, but at a terrible cost. He left the Navy when Emily's health worsened. Officially, he retired. Unofficially, he disappeared, and the Navy respected that. They owed him more than medals could express. Caleb had begged to visit a Navy ship for months. "Dad, just once. I wanna see where heroes work, like you used to." Ethan finally agreed when the ship invited civilian families to a memorial event. He planned to slip in, drop off the folded flag for a fallen teammate's son, and vanish. Logan Harris ruined that plan the moment Ethan arrived. Logan wasn't a bad man. Just proud, loud, and used to being the toughest guy in the room. "You sure you're not lost, old man?" he chuckled, eyeing Ethan's simple clothes. Ethan kept calm. Caleb squeezed his hand. "Dad, let's just go." Before Ethan could answer, a booming voice rang out behind them. "Walker." Every head snapped toward the approaching figures. 3 admirals, Harrington, Lewis, and Blackburn, all staring in disbelief. Logan froze. The SEAL team fell silent. Caleb blinked in confusion. Ethan let out a sigh. "I was hoping you wouldn't make a scene." But the admirals were already standing at attention. Then, in front of hundreds of sailors, all 3 saluted him, sharply, respectfully, without hesitation. "Commander Ethan Walker," Admiral Harrington said loudly, "it is an honor to have you back on a Navy deck, sir." Logan's jaw hit the floor. Caleb's eyes widened. Ethan swallowed hard. "I'm not a commander anymore." "You'll always be one to us," the Admiral replied. And every sailor on that deck saluted. Logan later found Ethan alone, leaning over the rail. "Sir, I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't know who you were." Ethan chuckled. "That was the point. But why'd you leave?" Logan asked. Ethan's eyes softened. "My wife was dying. My son needed a father more than the Navy needed a warrior." Logan nodded, understanding more than he expected. "And now I'm just trying to be enough for Caleb." But Ethan didn't realize Caleb had heard every word. "Dad," Caleb whispered, voice trembling, "you've always been enough." Ethan's eyes watered. For the first time in years, he allowed himself to feel the pain he'd buried. Losing colleagues, leaving the Navy, losing his wife, carrying every mission's ghosts. Logan, surprisingly gentle, put a hand on his shoulder. "If you ever want to come back, men like me would follow you anywhere." Ethan shook his head with a sad smile. "Thank you, but my mission is here." That evening, during the memorial ceremony, Ethan presented the folded flag to the son of his fallen teammate, Mark Daniels. The boy, Oliver, looked about Caleb's age. Ethan knelt, voice steady despite his breaking heart. "Your father was braver than he ever admitted. And he loved you more than anything." Oliver hugged him tightly. Caleb watched, understanding something deeper. His father wasn't just a hero. He was a man who chose love over glory, family over fame, and healing over medals. After the ceremony, Logan approached Caleb privately. "You know," he said, "your dad is a legend. People write books about men like him." Caleb smiled proudly. "I don't need a book. I live with him." Logan laughed. "You're one lucky kid." "I know," Caleb said softly. "But he's lucky too. I'm his mission now." As they left the ship, sailors lined the walkway. Not in formation, not ordered. They simply came on their own, to honor the man they thought they'd never see again. Some saluted, some nodded, some whispered, "Thank you, Commander." Ethan didn't want admiration, but he accepted the respect. For his family, for his fallen brothers, for the life he once lived. Caleb held his hand, smiling. "Dad, yeah, I think you're still a hero." Ethan looked at his son, his greatest purpose, and whispered back, "I'm just trying to be yours." And in that moment, he realized something. Heroes aren't the ones who stand highest. Heroes are the ones who kneel lowest, to lift someone else up. This story reminds us that true strength isn't loud. True honor isn't shown through medals. True courage isn't proven in battlefields. Sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is choose love, sacrifice, and family, even when the world doesn't see it. Because real heroes don't need recognition. They just need a purpose. And sometimes, that purpose is a child who believes in them.